If you've tried all the government avenues, you may wish to go to the media. Your local community newspaper can be an advocate. Indeed, many journalists see themselves that way. Your issue can get into the paper in several ways: as a human interest story, as a letter to the editor, or as an editorial. Your story expressed in the words of a journalist as an opinion piece. You should also be aware of the potential pitfalls of using the media. You cannot always be certain that your message will be presented as you'd like. Some journalists will allow you to see the story before it goes to print. It is always good practice to write it to them as you would like to have it appear in the paper. Occasionally, a journalist will simply let it run as is.
To my mind, working in a community, you know people as members of a community. And sometimes they have stories that they just want to tell you, and other times they have stories that they would like to see in print. So you kind of have to sort out whose needs are greatest or most immediate. But I think we all network a lot, and if you hear a story twice, then maybe it needs to be told. I think that's the function of a newspaper, is to let the readers know what's going on around them, what's going on in the community, and to be informative. And sometimes that is, in fact, advocating for members of the community to try and let the system know, let the community know, let everybody know what's going on.
Suppose that as a minister there's something that I'd like to see done in my department, but I'm not able to get the political attention of my counterparts in cabinet. It's just not deemed to be as pressing a priority as some of the other suggestions that have come forward to government. But if the media catches on to something and advocates for it, it basically enhances my position when I go forward to my colleagues, because now everybody in the province, or a lot of people in the province, are talking about it and probably advocating for change. So that actually is very positive for the minister. The minister may not enjoy it while he or she is being criticized in the media for not being able to provide the program, but ultimately it may help get it done.
And occasionally a journalist can make a phone call to a person and something might change. Sometimes you have to go the next step and take photographs and document and make the story public for something to change. There are also circumstances where you do all of that and nothing changes. But I think you have to try. I think it's really important, if you care about your community, to put those stories forward.
Most of what we have talked about in this video has been focused on families advocating for their own. It is hoped that this video may also be an inspiration to those not related to a person with a disability who want to become an advocate for their cause. There are different ways to do this, but all begin by approaching a person or a family with an open heart and a genuine interest to improve their lives. It should not be a step taken lightly, for the path can be long, and part of being a good advocate is being in it for the long term, no matter what the outcome.
To be an advocate, if you have a child with special needs, I think it's very important to talk to other parents, and especially with parents who have already been there and have been through the system, the educational system, the community services system, and the health system. And they will be a great resource for anybody who wants to help. Befriend families, because often families with special needs children, or with adults with special needs who are still part of the family, often the families are very overwhelmed and need help in just the time that it takes to make their way through a complex system like community services. Becoming friends with the person who has special needs, finding out what they want. What kind of lifestyle do they want to lead? That's really important.
It's a good feeling to, and it's it's an achievement. And, that you can actually help another person, another human being. And because, actually that's what humanity's all about, is to help people. It's not being this person is a client or I'm an advocate for that person. I feel like I'm a friend that is helping that person out. That's what the person has to look at it. Can't look at it as a job. You got to look at it as one-on-one with a friend, helping that friend out.
Oh, it's an honor, it's a privilege to be invited into this person's life, and often it's very intimate, it's very scary sometimes, it's very, I don't know, they have a lot of emotion, and if they're upset and they've been through a lot of closed doors, you have to really honor them for who they are, and yeah, it's tricky, but it's if you go with an open heart and really listen, you have to do a lot of listening, and that's one way to help them really feel like you are going to really be a partner with them.
I think to be a good advocate, above all, you need to be a good listener. You have to understand the concerns, understand the issues, and recognize the process.